What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Dana Dane. Brian Barnes. What's up, Jay Jemison? Chip off a nugget. Come on in here, y'all. We gotta talk about this. Two topics. The original topic was gonna be about Isaac Hayes Jr. or Isaac Hayes III saying that LA, the Grammys have an LA bias. So what we're gonna talk about is how the moon don't bark to the dog. You know what I mean? People always got some hating ass shit to say about LA. But we're gonna break down what Isaac Hayes Jr. or the third, whichever Isaac Hayes he is, had to say. Whichever Isaac Hayes he is, his dad is rolling over in his grave. Does the Grammys have an LA bias? We're gonna really break that down. But I'm gonna start out with Nicki Minaj. This dirty tramp disrespected George Clinton. What's up, chat room? Thank you everybody for joining. What's up to my mods? I don't mean to be rude to y'all by not personally speaking, but I got something to say tonight. I'll look down in the comments a little bit later on and reply to some of y'all in the comments a little bit later. But for now, I got something to say. Join the Patreon and all that good shit. Now, Nicki Minaj, I was going through Twitter, basically said, George Clinton, shut your stinking ass up. Y'all go to her Twitter right now. The tweet is still up and it was from yesterday. She was going at Billy Porter and then started going at George Clinton. And this goes at why today the Grammys, this whole Grammy weekend shows you why we delineate. Black people, Black Americans. For those of people who going around who are mad at Black Americans and saying, hey, it's stupid, we just need to come together. Look at this. George Clinton ain't said nothing to nobody about nothing. George Clinton is hip hop. Hip hop is George Clinton. How the fuck do you get around to disrespecting George Clinton? Hold on, I'm gonna reply to this text real quick. I'll be back in like 10 seconds. About that. Like, people, come on now. I want what I want my followers. I want those watching, those of you with immigrant backgrounds, those of you watching with immigrant backgrounds, I want to hear from y'all, especially. Not if there's anyone here with an immigrant background, I want to hear from y'all about what else are we supposed to do in this situation. George Clinton is an icon. He's a for real icon. And those of you with immigrant backgrounds, y'all know how respect for elders runs in your culture. Understand this. We Black Americans have a culture of respect for the elders too. I know it doesn't get talked about, but you saw how we reacted when Frankie Beverly died, when Aretha Franklin died. We have reverence for our elders. George Clinton is in the very, 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 very rare air of elders in music. Not just in Black music, in American music history. George Clinton is an icon. Iconic. From the doo-wop days with the Parliaments and the heavy metal days with Funkadelic, the funk days with Parliament. And rest in peace to Billy Bass. Billy Bass died this past weekend. Rest in peace to Billy Bass. He coined the term Funkadelic. Plainfield, New Jersey, part of the original Funkadelic band. Combined funk with psychedelic, because they were on them psychedelic drugs back then. And that was the psychedelic time. So combine psychedelic with the word with funk, and that's how Funkadelic came about. So rest in peace to Billy Bass. But I need my people with immigrant backgrounds to speak up. What? You'll never hear, even if George Clinton was being critical, you'll never hear an American Black artist disrespect George Clinton. That'll never happen. This is the father of punk rock. Punk rock is rooted in Funkadelic, y'all. Do y'all know that? That Red Hot Chili Peppers, all that stuff. Genesis. I mean, not Genesis. All that stuff is rooted in Funkadelic. We haven't even gotten into Parliament's influence on hip hop, from the Bomb Squad to DJ Quick and Dre, or his influence on rhythm and blues, the second most sampled artist of all time. What's up, Andrea? What's up, Peter Speaks, Sonya T? Everybody that's in here, Go, Randy, Mr. Smoke, Brian. Appreciate all y'all for joining. But chat room, do y'all feel where I'm coming from? If George Clinton is being critical of any artist, of any era, he has earned the right. And the reason why George Clinton has earned the right to be critical of any artist of any era is because he's given so much. You listen to Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers talk about George Clinton. Well, I give Flea credit. Flea talks about George Clinton the way any Black child would talk about their grandfather. Flea has so much reverence for George Clinton, and you can tell it's a genuine reverence. It's not, oh, hey, look at this cool Black guy. No, he talks about George Clinton and Bootsy Collins like they're gods. Dr. Dre talks about George Clinton and Bootsy Collins and George like he's a god. Kendrick Lamar talks about George Clinton like he's a god. George Clinton, y'all know it's been like kind of a quiet rivalry between Kendrick and Cube. You saw how Cube dropped his album Kendrick dropped G and X on the day Cube dropped his album that he had been promoting for like months. Cube had been promoting his album for months. Kendrick just dropped his album on that same day and sucked all the air out. And you've heard Cube say little things, talking about how he is the original, reminding people who he is. We've seen this quiet, it's a very quiet rivalry between Kendrick and Cube that we've noticed. Very quiet, not disrespectful, not disrespectful. I think it's just OG and Young Cat having a little bit of, but they got together on a George Clinton song. George Clinton put them two on the same track. That's what George Clinton can do. Yeah, human. That's what it's competitiveness. Really, what's going on between Cube and Kendrick is competitiveness. I'm with you right there, humans. It's competitiveness. Because Cube has never disrespected Kendrick, and Kendrick has never disrespected Cube. It's just intergenerational competitiveness that's going on between those two. But not so competitive that they couldn't do a song together for George Clinton. Oh, there go that skunk. Oh, shit. Is it going inside? There go the skunk. Hey, there go the skunk. He up under my neighbor's truck. My neighbor, look, there go the skunk. You see it? Oh, it just disappeared. Damn it. It just disappeared. Oh, there he is. There's the skunk. Usually my alley's real clean, but someone just dumped that shit the other day. Usually the alley's clean. Someone just dumped that shit the other day. And there go the skunk. See, the skunk didn't fuck with me. This nigga Biz Marti is a fool. Yeah, feet to speak. There go the skunk. It's been like when I be out here outside, the skunk is a chat room. For those of y'all, for y'all who are regulars, the skunk has been like an ongoing mystery on this channel when I do my lives from outside. That motherfucker done ran up under my seat a couple times. Anyway, yeah, that skunk has been like kind of an ongoing theme for you niggas who are new around here. He almost went inside my one of my tenants. I got like a couple more buildings down the street over here. One of my buildings down the street, my neighbor always leave his garage open, and the skunk was about to walk up in his shit. Yeah, the skunk is part of the late nights at this point. You're right about that. Nigga Brian Barnes said reoccurring guest. Now I'm in LA. I don't have any tethered guests. I'm in LA is still for the most part, real niggaville. Ain't too many. It's tethers out here. Like all the tethers. The tethers don't live down here in LA. I'm in South Central. The tethers all live like in West LA, and they live in the Valley. Tethers don't come down to South Central. This is real niggaville down here. What I think about George Clinton's Bootsy UFO story, it'll never be the really thing. If those two said it happened, they got the same story. That means it must have been real. I tell you one thing, the music changed after that. They got that UFO story. Then next came out the Mothership Connection, the song that's been the Mothership Connection album is now 51 years old. So Whatever Bootsy and George did with that UFO, it changed the music forever. So who am I to say it didn't happen? Listen to the Clones of Dr. Funkenstein album. Listen to Funkintelehi versus the Placebo Syndrome album. And you tell me what you think about the UFO story. It's all up in the music. Listen to Parliament Funkadelic pre-Mothership Connection and post-Mothership Connection. Two completely different sounds. So if George Clinton says that he was abducted by aliens, I believe it. He and Bootsy got the same story, and you can hear it in the music. Go listen to Red Hot Mama in '74, and then listen to Mothership Connection in '75. You see a completely different sound. Hell yeah, I believe George Clinton when he said he was abducted. He and Bootsy was abducted by aliens in Toronto. Hell yeah, I believe him. Yes. Go listen to Chocolate City. Go listen to America Eats Its Young. See, I'm a Parliament Funkadelic connoisseur. I know all their albums. Ozium. Listen to the Funkadelic album. Listen to the Nappy Dugout. That's completely different sound than Funkintelehi versus the Placebo Syndrome. Bob Gunn, Aqua Boogie, the Motor Booty Affair, all that. The Motor Booty Affair, Uncle Jam's Army, all that stuff is post UFO extraction, and their sound took on a completely different thing. Don't listen to me. Go back and dive into those albums. Pre-UFO abduction, Chocolate City album. Songs like Bigfoot was on that album, and on the Funkadelic side, America Eats Its Young. They had a song called August 14th. They had another song called If you don't like the results, don't produce the cause. It was very rock and roll, very hippie. And then they had the UFO abduction. The next song after that, doom, 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 doom. Welcome to Station WEFUNK, better known as We Funk, the Mothership Connection, home of the extraterrestrial brothers, dealers of funky music, P-Funk, Uncut Funk, The Bomb. You heard it in the music. You hear it in the music. It's all in the music. From the Ocean, the Motor Booty Affair album starts off, when you first hear the Motor Booty Affair, it starts off with a monologue. From the ocean comes a notion that realized lies in rhythm, and the rhythm is funk. From the ocean comes a notion that realized lies in rhythm, and the rhythm of vision is a dancer. From the looking comes the see. Ones with realize that the rhythm of vision is a dancer, and when we dance, it's always on the one. Climbing between the molecules of wetness like an eel through seaweed. Dilly-ya, oh, I'm jocking, I'm back on the scene. That's when George Clinton takes a rhyme from Jocko Henderson, the original rapper who rapped on the radio on WBLS in New York. He took a rhyme from Jocko Henderson. That's why when you listen to Grandmaster Flash and early the Curtis Blow, they all sound like Jocko Henderson. Them rap niggas, early rap niggas got their raps from Jocko Henderson. The same way George Clinton got his rap from Jocko Henderson. I'm Jock and I'm back on the scene with the record machine saying, ooh, diddly oo, how you do? I am Mr. Wiggles the Worm. These are my ladies giggle and squirm. Two bionic idiots. It's all in the music, man. See, you hip-hop niggas ain't studied George. That's why y'all say, it started with Kool Herc. Nigga, George told you that I got the rhymes from Jocko Henderson on the radio. And then when you go study Jocko Henderson, you find out all those early New York rappers from Grandmaster, Flash. I mean, he was scratching. I mean, like Curtis Blow, Melly Mel, the Furious Five. All them niggas sound like Jocko Henderson. I was able to track that history down from George Clinton interviews. And when he was talking about climbing through the molecules of wetness like an eel through seaweed, that was allegory for dealing with the oppression and bullshit that we have to deal with as black people in America. We can dance through all that shit without getting wet. You dig? And Nicki Minaj disrespected him. Trombulation was another good album. So, Nicki Minaj, the bar bitch, for her to say anything critical or use him as a punchline and a joke about somebody else, because she was going at Billy Porter. But even if George Clinton, I think when she said it, she was like in response, because George Clinton is very much so pro-Democrat, in his old age. George Clinton's also 85 years old. George Clinton is 85 years old, still touring. And what I don't like is, how many hip-hop niggas, you don't disrespect George Clinton. Where are the black musicians to say something about that? You don't disrespect George Clinton. He's given so much. He's given so much for both heavy metal, rock and roll, funk, and hip hop, and rhythm and blues, pop music. Everybody takes a little bit of George. K-pop takes from George. New Jack Swing took from George. Yeah. See what angle she was talking about, because Billy Porter had said some shit about Nicki Minaj politically. And I know that they both are like, she's going at people's side with Democrats. But I get political differences. You don't talk about George Clinton. Under no circumstances. You don't talk about George Clinton. Yeah, that bitch got a green card now. She feeling frisky. Ugly asshole. I flat out disrespect Nicki Minaj with her BBL booty smelling ass, calling herself a barb. Barbed wire, you rough face looking bitch under all that makeup. Let's see that bitch without the makeup. Let's see how much of a barb she really is. You don't disrespect George Clinton. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. He said, yeah. No, for real. Like, nah, I don't. No, let's see how this bitch look with her real hair and her real face. She probably look like DJ Mustard. I want to see how Nicki Minaj really look. She probably, nah, dirty asshole. You take her hair off, you take that makeup off, she look like Kanisha from Lean on Me. Mr. Clark, my mama don't love me. My mom, Mr. Clark, my mama say, if I had this baby, oh, Kanisha from Lean on Me looking bitch. You take that makeup and that hair off Nicki Minaj, that bitch look like John Legend. Drug head, child molesting supporting asshole. You don't talk about no fucking George Clinton. Again, my people who say us, quote unquote, FBAs, if you want to call me FBA, if you want to call me ADOS, if you want to call me whatever. How do me, as a black American who has love and respect for my culture, how else do I respond? What? Because I 100% know, wouldn't no black person born and raised with 4 black grandparents in America, they would never disrespect George Clinton. George Clinton, 85 years old, and has never been disrespected in public. How else, for people who say we shouldn't delineate, for that Deontay Kyle looking dude, that zesty ass nigga, what do we do? Do we just shut up? Like remember Deontay Kyle with them shit locks? Talked about, well, even if they say something, we shouldn't say nothing back. So we shouldn't defend George Clinton, nigga? We should just let an elder get assaulted like that publicly by a person with one of the biggest Twitter followings in the world and just be quiet? My son. Did y'all see Tariq's show yesterday when he went down? Going down the list, talking about the people who were agreeing with Deontay Kyle? I ain't got nothing to say about that. But y'all saw who he talked about. To any of them people, like, what are we supposed to do? Like for real, like, that's a serious question. Like, this bitch disrespected George Clinton. What do you do? Yeah, she disrespected. That's right, Brooke. She disrespected Malcolm X and King. Now George Clinton. That's a serious question. Rosa Parks, yeah, like people who say Black Americans who use the term tether. What is the proper reaction to a green card bitch that disrespects Malcolm, Martin, Rosa Parks, now George Clinton? How do we? How? What's a if it? Think about this. See, you get the solutions through questions, people. If calling these people tethers and calling them out for being disrespectful to us isn't the path, what is the path forward? Somebody said stop buying her shit. I've never bought her shit. Like, get away from the cliches. I don't want the cliche answers. Stop supporting her. I don't support her. I've never bought anything if she's ever. I can't tell you one Nicki Minaj song. I promise you I can't. And the majority of her fan base is white, gay, and tether. Most Black Americans never really rock with Nicki Minaj like that. Most Black Americans like she's a knockoff Foxy Brown. Most Black Americans is like, how the fuck did we end up? How in the hell did we lose MC Light and Queen Latifah and end up with this bitch? We, for the most part, most Black Americans, people I see black bumping Nicki Minaj be Mexicans, it be Africans, it be Caribbean, it be white. White women love Nicki Minaj. I know Black people who like some of her songs. Like me, I'm on the extreme where I can't tell you one Nicki Minaj song. But I know Black Americans who like a jam or two, but they don't really, they're not barbs. Look at her barbs is usually gay people and immigrants. We don't support her. We did at one point. I ain't gonna lie, you know, when she was coming out when Lil Wayne released her, we gave her that initial Black American stamp of cool. We did do that. I agree with the person that said don't support her from that point of view. We gave her our cool equity. We did do that initially. I didn't personally, but I'm part of a group. And we did give her a cultural stamp at one point. Jeff Brown up in the building. What's up, Jeff Brown? Jeff Brown, your topic you had on Facebook the other night inspired a topic that I was going to do today, but the whole Grammy situation pushed my topic back a couple days. But I'm gonna do a topic probably tomorrow on do Black men whine too much. That's probably gonna be tomorrow's topic: Black men crying and whining too much. But part of your Facebook post that you put up the other day, Jeff, along with some other things that happened, but your Facebook video you did pushed me like, oh, yeah, this is an issue. Black men be crying like bitches too much. But that's gonna be tomorrow's topic. That's gonna be tomorrow's topic. Y'all say what's up to Jeff Brown. Y'all say what's up to Jeff TV. What did WWE? What do you mean? What? I'm just using. I'm straight from my phone right now, Jeff. So you could say these entertainers don't run nothing. Their opinions don't matter. But that's not that. That sounds good, and I feel where you're coming from. 1989, Tez, but no. The reason why they have celebrities endorse products is because celebrity opinions do matter. Oh, and I produce music. Man, I ain't produced nothing in a minute, brother Jeff. Matter of fact, I'm be linking up with Joseph Landberg up in Pasadena sometime this week or the next week or two to start putting some music together. But yeah, he handled all that when we started. But I just lay drum sets, live drums down, and let the engineers do the rest and producers do the rest. I ain't about to start working on my own music project this year though. But I'm linking up with Joseph Lineberg for that. But that's real talk here at 4196. But that's right, Cardi One Love. Celebrity worship is real. Like we can say celebrity opinions don't matter all we want. People who have millions and millions of dollars wouldn't give entertainers millions and millions of dollars to say things if their opinions didn't matter. It's a reason why the Democrat National Convention, the DNC, pays so many quote unquote celebrity influencers, and the Republican Party doing the same. What celebrity opinions say, it does matter. Most people don't think for themselves. Now, the person who made that comment, you might think for yourself, and I'm pretty sure you do. That's why you made that comment. I forgot who it was that made that comment. You're probably an independent thinker, and that's why you made that comment. Fact is, most people aren't. Most people are highly swayed by the opinions of what they deem influential people. That's a fact. Real talk, Jeff Brown. And people, it's the same reason why. That's why you have what we call a Christian nation. When you deal in a nation that's caught up in religion, and this is no disrespect for people who are Christians, because Christianity is a tool like anything else. You can use it for your good, or you can hide behind it. That's your choice. I don't know if you call yourself a Christian. I don't know what your choice is, so I'm not here to judge you. But I'm speaking in general. When you live in a nation that believes that God is outside of themselves and they must follow something outside of themselves, they create not just the Jesus that we hear about or the Muhammad if you're a Muslim. They create those people through celebrities. People who feel that all of their power is outside of themselves give their power to people who they deem more influential than they are. That's just a fact. If it's not you, then if it don't apply, let it fly. But this is what I'm saying is facts 80% of the time. I'm dropping facts. This is true 80% of the time, 85% of the time. This is true. Undeniably true. I have read Nicki's cards before, Mathis Ward, but you just gave me a good idea. I'll probably read her cards on Patreon this week. My Patreon subscribers, y'all do for another card reading show. So we'll probably read Nicki's cards on Patreon this week. And I'll put a clip out here on YouTube of it. But what's up, Reggie? So how did I get into reading cards? I was on the borderline of a mental breakdown from working with children for 15 years. I wanted to keep helping with people, but I couldn't do it no more. That's honestly how I got into reading cards. I found out that you can read playing cards. My wife's grandfather used to read playing cards. And so that made me pick up and learn how to do it. I was like, I can continue. My genuine love is really helping people through their shit. And But 15 years doing that for the Department of Mental Health had me at the point of mental breakdown, and I couldn't do it anymore. I still can't. I still can't listen to nobody's story. If you come to me telling me that you was molested, I'm gonna change the subject because I've had to deal with over a dozen kids telling me that they were molested and me having to tell their parents. Like, I'm never doing that again. I can't do it. But reading cards allowed me to still help people through their trauma without listening to their trauma. I don't want to hear none of you niggas' trauma. Nigga, if you tell me you are late on if you are late on the bill, you need a ride to work, I don't want to hear none of that shit. I'm burnt out on motherfuckers' trauma. I don't want to hear shit about. I don't watch trauma TV. I don't watch nothing that 50 Cent produced because this niggas going to jail, niggas on their way to jail, niggas coming from jail. I don't listen to half this music. People got haters. I can't. I'm burnt the fuck out on trauma. I'm burnt the fuck out. That's why I don't watch TV. I'm burnt out on trauma. Like, I will kick somebody's ass because I've dealt with way too much trauma in my life. I'm mentally fucked up. I've been very clear to all y'all about that too. This is the primary reason why I'm so glad I'm married to my wife. We both agree we don't want no fucking kids. I've had too many kids tell me that they were raped, and I had to be the one to tell the parent. And then I tell the parent, and the parent be like, "Oh, I knew, but the person that raped my kid was my cousin, and I don't want to get him in trouble." And you can only hear that so many times before you're ready to fight the world, you know? Like, so yeah, I'm like, I don't lie to y'all. I don't come to you guys as the perfect messenger. I'm very open about my trauma, and my trauma is centered around family and kids. That's where my trauma is, and I can't fuck with it. Dude, don't tell me nothing about what you're going through. I don't want to hear it. But if you tell me your birthday, I can pull your card up and I can see exactly what you're going through. And then I can apply my 25 plus years of wisdom working with children and families. And I can help you out. And I can apply all those years of working with people just by giving me your birthday. Once I see your cards, I know what your general issues are, your underlying issues are, without the specifics. I don't want to know your fucking specifics. Don't even tell me. Just give me your birthday. I'll read what your life path is. And then from there, I can apply my years of professionalism to your solutions. Jeff, I can't answer that question. I don't know. Cards are so random. If I read, brother, I forget everything when I read. I don't be knowing what the fuck I say. The spirit talk to me, man, and that shit go through me, and I give you what you need, and I be out. I don't remember a damn thing about nothing. I can't even remember a card. I don't record none of this shit. This is being truthful. I don't record in my mind nothing. I done dealt with so much trauma, I can't deal with it. I'm fucked up. Reggie said somebody hammering. Now you probably hear this. Hey Reggie, I'm drinking on that potion I told you about that I got in the fridge. I'm coming to the end now. Yeah, but I don't fuck with trauma. No, leave me the fuck alone. Hey Reggie, and I got the delivery. No, Jeff, I can't answer that question because I don't remember nothing. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to say. Even the randomness, it just happens, bruh. Nigga, the cards come out. When I shuffle cards, you ask me a question and I shuffle the cards. Whatever card come out, got a message, and I say that message, and I'm on to the next. I don't remember shit. I really don't. Hey, Sonya T, if George Clinton's in town, go. You say he's gonna be in Austin? Go. I've seen George Clinton in Parliament Funkadelic. I started going to see them when I was like 22, 23. So for 20 years, I've been seeing them now. So I got to see Gary Scheider when he was still alive. I got to see Billy Bass when he was still alive. Play that one reunion show that they did. I got to see Bernie Worrell when he was still alive. Although I didn't get to see Parliament in the 70s because I was born in 81, I started going to see them in 2003. And in 2003, Frank Cashwadi was still on drums. You know, I got to see, Kid Funk on guitar, Blackbird McKnight on guitar. I never got to see Junie Morrison. He was living over but I got to see Bernie while he was still alive. George's band now is still for the most part his grandkids and great grandkids, but they're still dope as fuck. Go see them. Kid Funk is still on guitar with them. But Nicki Minaj disrespecting George Clinton, I can't do it. Yeah, get a reading, but you could book a reading at breakthroughcards.com. Breakthroughcards.com. These two cats are chasing each other. They slowed down when they came across me. Look at this little bastard right here. I'm gonna bring Rocky out and kick your ass. Oh shit, you can't see. I'm gonna bring Rocky out and kick that little nigga's ass. Yeah, it's mating season. Yeah, cats was fucking the other night, Andrea. You already heard them. This mating season right now. The cats out here fucking. That's a good question. Somebody said, I wonder, Johnny Morrison, I wonder how much greater the Ohio players would have been had they stayed with him. That's a good question, but I think, Junie left the Ohio players at the appropriate time. Because the Ohio players' sound changed when Junie Morrison left. But you got a lot of their big hits without Junie. Fire, with Sugarfoot singing lead. That biggest hit was Fire. A lot of the Ohio players' biggest hits came after Junie left. Junie laid the foundation for them. But Sugarfoot coming over and singing lead, it gave them a different element, Skin Tight. That's all without Junie. But Junie was a great man. Junie had to go to George. Because when Junie went to Parliament Funkadelic, it extended Parliament Funkadelic's run, and it gave them their biggest hits. You know, that's when Groove Alliance, One Nation, Not Just Needy. Love Roller Coaster Good Night, it was big too. But that was still with Sugarfoot singing lead, Skin Tight. Yeah, I Want to Be Free. Junie was just a godsend to music, man. Junie gave us greatness he can not only his own individual greatness, but he took the Ohio Players remember the Ohio Players were a jazz band initially. The Ohio Players were a jazz band. Junie gave them that funk. Then he went in and extended Parliament Funkadelic's funk run. Yeah, Jive Turkey was my shit. But that takes me into my second topic. That cis ass nigga Isaac Hayes Jr. or the third. His dad got to be rolling over in his grave. Did y'all hear what Isaac Hayes III said? This nigga put out a tweet saying that hip hop, that he has a lisp. You can't fuck with niggas with a lisp. He was like, I think just for hip hop and R&B, I didn't check the other genres, but for hip hop and R&B, most of the voters live in the LA, and they have an LA bias, and it should be a cap on how many voters that live in LA vote on the R&B and the hip hop categories, because the Grammys have a hip hop bias towards LA. Like, quick background for y'all. Hayes, when the Kendrick versus Drake beef started, he was one of the absolute most vocal people for Drake. He came out to be a thong-wearing Drake apologist / slong sucker. When Drake dropped that diss records, and remember it took Kendrick like 2 weeks to respond. Remember, Isaac Hayes III was the main one. Kendrick lost. He thought he was really gonna go up against a real song maker, and he was one of them kind of dudes. So when Kendrick came back with Not Like Us and Meet the Grams, Isaac Hayes III was the main one. Well, he do that. He shouldn't have said that. He was acting like a real cis ass nigga. He was acting very Deontay Kyle-ish, you know? Yeah, the Isaac Hayes dude, he's a very Democrat, Roland Martin style. Black people just need to fall in line with the Democrats ass kind of nigga. Now he's saying hip hop has a bias. The Grammys have a bias for LA. See, this is the thing about being born. And Jeff Brown, I don't know if you're still in here, but you from Chicago. But I know you've been in LA for a long time, Jeff Brown. And press number 1 if you're from LA in here or Southern California. Where my LA niggas at? We've all experienced this. Being in this city, people always got smoke for us. They always want to blame LA for gangster rap, even though Schoolie D did it first. It's like you always get these shots. A LA nigga winning. Now they want to change the rules. This is some Isaac Hayes Jr. He's an Atlanta nigga. He says he's in Atlanta. No one said this when Jay-Z had the most Grammys for hip hop. Nobody said this when Kanye took over for the most Grammys for hip hop. Now that a LA dude takes Kanye and Jay-Z's position, now we got to change the rules. That's why Kendrick Lamar said what he had to say. He just like a couple years ago, he's like, I just got the feeling you niggas don't like LA. We win, the rules got to change. No 98 test. Eazy-E and NWA just did it better. Schoolie D Philadelphia started gangster rap. LA just did it better. No. We didn't put it in the mainstream. It was just better music. Better music was what made it go mainstream. And NWA was never mainstream. Let's tell the truth. Rap was still a fringe category at the time of NWA. Let's always remember that. The first mainstream rap was MC Hammer. Okay? Not NWA. NWA rap was still a fringe sound with NWA. NWA just did it better than Schoolie D. Let's give proper credit. NWA just did it better. Yeah, it's a double standard when it comes to the West Coast. The East Coast-West Coast rivalry was started on the East. And that's what these niggas understand. The first coastal shots were sent from the East to the West. It's just that when the West responded, we killed them niggas. And they still got a bug in their ass for it. Y'all threw the first shots, we ended it. And then ever since then, the East, when I say East, specifically New York, but Philadelphia too, that's Schoolie D, that's Philadelphia. Y'all been crying ever since. Y'all threw the first shots, we ended it. Period. We didn't throw the first shots, but we for damn sure ended it. And y'all been, Tim Dog, yeah. Tim Dog out of Philadelphia. Y'all threw the first shots. That's probably why a lot of you New York niggas sided with Drake. Because y'all know what it's like to throw the first shots and then get steamrolled. Don't start none. That's a West Coast thing. Don't start none, won't be none. And now you got yes, fuck Compton. Yeah. That's real talk, Brian. But going back to Isaac Hayes III, he said it's a LA bias. Snoop, 0 Grammys. Ice Cube, 0 Grammys. NWA, 0 Grammys. Rodney O and Joe Cooley, 0 Grammys. Eazy-E, 0 Grammys. DJ Quick, 0 Grammys. DJ Battlecat, 0 Grammys. Nipsey, 0 Grammys. YG, 0 Grammys. The Eastsiders, 0 Grammys. Dog Pound, 0 Grammys. 213, Warren G, 0 Grammys. Nate Dogg. Yeah, Tupac, although he came from the East, he represented the West, 0 Grammys. Mac 10, West Side Connection, 0 Grammys. Dub C, 0 Grammys. These are groundbreaking artists. So now Kendrick comes through. The Game, 0 Grammys. I don't like The Game at all. Still a great rapper, 0 Grammys. Oh, you said Nip 1 too? Okay. Must have got one with Kendrick. But listen to that long list of prolific artists, like you said here to there. I could just do Ice Cube and Snoop and end it right there. Ice Cube, Pac, Snoop. Okay. You know, Pac not from LA. He represented LA. Still, they got 0 Grammys. That's enough right there. DJ Quick. I mean, these are icons. The Far Side, 0 Grammys. And he said R&B too. There's a resurgence of rhythm and blues in LA. PJ Morton just won a Grammy yesterday, but that was for a gospel album. Leela James don't have any Grammys. LA. There's so many. Does Tyrese have any Grammys? I don't know if Tyrese has. I don't think Tyrese has any Grammys. Check for me. Check for me, chat room. Does Tyrese have any Grammys? Above the Law, no Grammys. Above the Law started G-Funk, no Grammys. They're like 0 G-Funk Grammys. Yeah, no Tyrese Grammys, yeah. So, wide-nosed Democrat shill Isaac Hayes III says that the rules need to change because Kendrick Lamar is sweeping Grammys. And it's because he's from LA, not because he's a prolific writer. This nigga said I got a BET award for watching. That's cold. This dude said, am I actually black? Well, ask your mama what she said when I dropped my drawers, nigga. Ask your mama if I'm black. Now back to what we talking about. You say you saw Tyrese with Frankie Beverly Maze? That's dope as fuck. So, somebody said that low key the Grammys respect K. Dot exposed Drake. Hey, brother, remember this? K-Dot was winning Grammys before the Drake rivalry, brother. Remember that. K-Dot didn't get to the top because of Drake. He was already way ahead of Drake in Grammys before the rivalry. But at the end of the day, the Grammys are irrelevant still. Fuck the Grammys. I don't mean shit. I don't give a fuck if Kendrick's still my favorite rapper, but Kendrick being my favorite rapper ain't got nothing to do with his Grammys. I don't give a fuck. The Grammys don't validate Kendrick Lamar for me. Kendrick Lamar rapping about To Pimp a Butterfly is what validates Kendrick Lamar. Good Kid, Mad City. I can relate to Good Kid, Mad City. You ain't trying to be in the streets like that, but you in a city where the people that you friends with are in the streets. I can relate to that. Good Kid, Mad City, you know, The Recipe, songs like that. Women, weed, and weather. Women, weed, and weather. That's L.A., goddammit. The women out here are beautiful. My wife is an L.A. woman. The weed. And it was 77 degrees today in February in the winter. You can't tell me The Recipe ain't some real shit. Women, weed, man, please. Ice-T never got a Grammy. Well, Grammys don't mean shit. I was at the party last night. I got to talk to the great Kamasi Washington for a while last night at the Grammy at Robert Glasper's party, his Grammy party last night. I was there, and I got to talk to Kamasi for a while last night. You know, Kamasi, jazz musician. I like Kendrick. I appreciate Kendrick a lot because of his incorporation of Terrace Martin, Kamasi Washington, Robert Glasper, Flying Lotus, Thundercat. The reason why Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly was such an iconic album and had such depth was because not only did he bring in George Clinton for Wesley's Theory, what up, man? He brought in the LA jazz scene. The LA jazz scene. When I talked to Kamasi last night, I got to thank him. Like y'all don't understand. See, the reason why LA niggas don't take none of you guys as shit from around the country, Isaac Hayes Jr., because we put our money where our mouths is. The reason why the jazz scene around the world is revolutionized is because Kamasi, Ryan Porter, Austin, the brother, Ronald Bruner, the drummer, Tony Austin, Cameron Graves, who's now touring with Stanley Clarke, Kamasi Washington, Thundercat. They all Brandon Coleman, they all pieced their money up together. And in 2013 or 14, they all pieced their money up. And the reason why they had money to piece up was because West Coast hip hop, Dr. Dre kept using them for sessions. Snoop, they went on tour with Snoop. Snoop used the young LA jazz scene to tour with. And they had money because Dr. Dre, Snoop, the West Coast hip hop legends use these young black musicians on their albums and on tour. So they actually had some money in their pocket. And they pieced their money together. And they all spent 30 days in the studio and they recorded on everyone's album. And the crown jewel of those recording sessions was Kamasi Washington's album, The Epic. Go look up The Epic. It came out in, I think, 2014 or 15. And it's a 3-album compilation. And on that album, Kamasi has a full choir. He has an orchestra. He has a rhythm section, 2 drummers, and DJ Battle Cat, West Coast Hip Hop. Kamasi brought it full circle. He brought in Battle Cat. And he changed the direction of music. But along with those sessions, Thundercat releases his album, Terrace Martin, Cameron Graves, Planetary Prince, Brandon Coleman, Ryan Porter, and these brothers worked on a whole album. And then from that, Terrace Martin, Terrace Martin is who produced Kendrick's first mixtape demo. Kendrick asked Terrace Martin to round up musicians to Pimp a Butterfly. Terrace Martin brings in Kamasi Washington. That's Kamasi playing the saxophone on This Dick Ain't Free. That's Kamasi. He brings in Robert Glasper. And the dopest musicians on the planet played on To Pimp a Butterfly. Thundercat produced If These Walls Can Talk. But these LA musicians didn't get approved. They approved themselves. That's why we LA niggas can't take none of y'all niggas shit. People be like, well, they only got access because they from LA. No, these niggas put they fucking money up. The reason why the story is so special to me, because I was in Leimert Park in 2011 when nobody knew who these cats were, and they were at the World Stage Theater. The World Stage Theater can fit 10 people in there comfortably. 25 people, you're getting really packed. And it'll be like 70 motherfuckers in there and another 100 people sitting outside listening to these brothers. But I was there when there was this drummer named Breezy Lovejoy. Who knows who, person number 1, just tell me in the chat, who's Breezy Lovejoy? Who knows who Breezy Lovejoy is? There was this young drummer named Breezy Lovejoy who would be down at the World Stage Theater. Yes, Anderson .Paak. This young drummer named Breezy Lovejoy would be down there. And he was like the young cat. I'll go down to Long Beach, the Fight Club, the Kelsey spot. He's a bass player from the Free Nationals, I don't see T Nava around town. I remember all these cats coming up. I used to, every Friday, the people known as the West Coast Get Down, Kamasi and all them, they played at this place called the Piano Bar. The Piano Bar shut down in 2015. But the Piano Bar is a bar in Hollywood on Cahuenga and Selma. It's now the Dream Hotel. If you Google it now, you'll see something called a Dream Hotel. But before they knocked the Piano Bar down, made that Dream Hotel, it was a small dive bar that fit 30 people in there, 40 people. And the West Coast Get Down, it was like 9 musicians. And they played every Friday night. Now I see these cats playing at the Hollywood Bowl in front of 18,000 people. It's just amazing to see, man. But it was Kendrick who made the decision to work with his contemporaries in the jazz scene. And because LA is such a good, beautiful music ecosystem, he didn't have to go to get jazz musicians from the 70s. He didn't have to go to get a bunch of old niggas to play jazz. No disrespect to the old niggas. Kendrick Lamar was able to get jazz musicians his age, along with Robert Glasper out of Houston. And they wrote the magnum opus, like so somebody said in the chat earlier, the magnum opus of the 2000s when it comes to hip hop. What's up, I'm a God? Oh yeah, like all that. Oh, it's a LA bite. No, nigga, stop it. And I was listening to Glasses Malone podcast. I told y'all Glasses podcast. That's my new favorite podcast on YouTube. I could just listen, catch him anytime, just listen to him talk. But Glasses said some real shit today on his podcast. He was talking about his generation, LA guys, Kendrick, Nip when he was alive, even Game. They really not on that coastal shit. They true fans of hip hop. And I think that's how LA's always seen hip hop. LA is hip hop. Like LA, we got our West Coast shit, but the West Coast stuff was a response to, it was always a response to East Coast disrespect. It was a response. But Glasses was talking about his generation of rap. They didn't come up in the 80s during that era where West Coast rap was just completely disrespected. They came after that. So they're not really into, it's like, yeah, we from the West, but it's just about hip hop. And that's the general sentiment of most people from LA. And I think that's why I have this sentiment. That's why I talk the way I talk, you know? Okay, I'm back. Y'all see me? I don't really give a fuck about a coast. I don't care. When I talk about coast, it be just to troll you niggas who do care. It be even niggas like, you only say that because you from the West. I just like trolling dumb niggas that talk like that. I think people who look at music that way, no disrespect, but y'all stupid. That's the way I look at it. The people who narrow their music and their sound down to a coast, you're dumb. Closed-minded. And I ain't got time for that. So, the reason why I troll you niggas that think like that, because I don't respect stupid. So, I say things that are very disrespectful. I not be disrespectful, but I feel disrespected when you would lower me down to a fucking region. I'm actually insulted when people say that about me. So I insult people in return. We as black men, black people, not just black men and black women, we have a sound that's American. We have an American sound that has slightly different flavors from coast to coast. But it's an overall unique American sound. You know? Hold on, hold on. What up, dog? I'm still alive. I'm still alive. Yeah, yeah. But nah, that's some. Yeah. How's improv?
Mike was up there, Mike
Oh, Mike Epps was up there?
Yeah, and Bianco.
Oh, and Diaco? Like, was a Joe Circle going on?
But no, not really. No,
Okay.
they was doing their thing inside, but afterwards, not really. They was kind of out of there.
Okay.
Somebody lost Mike Keith. Yeah, they lost out of everybody Keith. We lost Mike Epps.
Hey, my boy said the Valley lost Mike Epps keys to the improv tonight.
Man, G thing had to take you off.
G thing had to take him home?
Yeah.
Dog.
Every nigga car you
They lost Mike Epps' keys.
that was hot.
Hey, dog.
Somebody fired.
Yeah, somebody fired like a motherfucker.
I got
Yeah.
you, brother.
All right, dog.
I call you tomorrow.
Yeah, call me tomorrow. Well, reports from the improv. Like, I was gonna go tonight, but I've been partying all fucking weekend. I won't go to no goddamn improv tonight. He said the Valley lost Mike Epps' keys. I'd be mad than a motherfucker. I'd be mad as hell. Real talk though, Brian. Art cannot be reduced to locations. Part of my mission is to get black Americans to understand that we have a unique sound that's distinctly different from the world sound. And I want you, tethers, not immigrants, tethers to understand this. Do you know where I learned that? I learned that at the white man's college, because y'all love white people. I didn't learn that from Tariq Nasheed. I didn't learn that from Hotep Houston or whatever thing you like talking shit about black people. I didn't learn that from Willie D. I didn't learn that from Kool Herc. I learned that from the white man's university. First when I was in junior college at Santa Monica College, and I heard it again when I was in music classes at California State University, Northridge. I didn't go to an HBCU. I didn't learn that from Clark, Atlanta. Just in case y'all asking, I didn't learn that from Tuskegee. Because you tethers love white folks. I learned that from the white man's university. That the 2/4 backbeat is distinctly American. I learned that in college, nigga. Yeah, Elicino. I learned that from Massa. I learned that from Massa. In my music, all my music history courses. For all you fucking tethers out there that are wondering who I am, played the drums in church for 20 years. That's where my master lessons come from. Being a church drummer, that's where American music is stored, is in church. So that's my primary source is being a church drummer. I learned academically, not only through the university system, but just through interviews and documentaries and books. But it's the 20 years playing in church that makes it all make sense to me. Because it's not just a academic study. I played it for 20 years. I'm not one of these niggas that just read a book. Church musicians understand more about music than anybody that's in, not anybody, because most of your mainstream artists went through church that are black Americans. And the reason why music sucks now is because you're getting people who didn't go through the American church system. Those musicians and artists that went through the American church system, they're the ones who you have to talk to. If they never went through the black church, there ain't nobody to talk to. That's where the real education comes from. All that college shit is secondary. But what I did learn in college was a 2/4 backbeat is unique to music of the United States of America. I learned that in college. And then I just started listening, because in college, you learn shit like that, you got to prove it. You can't just say it, you got to prove it. So you listen to world music out of South America, music out of Africa, music out of China, India, Botswana, South Africa, Indonesia, Zimbabwe, Madagascar. You listen to music from Tonga, music from Singapore, music from Sudan, music out of Botswana, out of Morocco, music out of France, music out of Russia and Georgia. And when you're in college, you got to listen to all these forms of music. When I was in college, you had to buy tapes or CDs. There was no downloads at the time other than Napster. So not only did you enroll in class, you had to buy books and you had to buy a stack of tapes, a stack of CDs. And you had to listen to music from Venezuela, music from Chad, music from Turkey. And you would hear, as a musician, you got to count. 1, 2, what's the time signature? Is it 7/8, 6/8? Is it 4/4, 3/4? You would hear the music and you would count. That's a waltz. That's a shuffle. The shuffle comes from the United States of America. There's a European waltz, but the 3/4 waltz comes from Philadelphia. There's an American waltz and a European waltz. And the American waltz comes out of Philadelphia. Frank Johnson. Then you kind of hear all the music from around the world. You hear consistent 1/3 downbeat pattern, a quarter note downbeat pattern. But in the United States of America, the music has a 2/4 backbeat. It's like in the United States, it's flipped. That's why people, they don't talk about the uniqueness of American music, because what y'all don't understand is American music is very unique. You have some 2/4 backbeat in South America, but with completely different instrumentation. You say you thought I was tripping when I said "Let's Go Crazy" is a gospel song? Oh yeah, it's gospel. You said then you heard the backbeat? Yeah. See, I may say things that sound crazy, but look me up. I gotta listen to the music. Yeah, a lot of cultures on the 3/4. Therapy radio. A lot of cultures on the 3/4 as their primary beat. The 3/4. Dun, tss, tss, dun, tss, tss, dun, tss, tss. With that 1-2, that's America. United States of America. That's academic. I learned that in college. I didn't pull that out my ass. Now that I learned it in college, I had to write fucking papers on proving why that was American. And this was 25 years ago. So for all you Deontay Kyle looking motherfuckers, that's not Tariq Nasheed putting us under mind control. I learned this in college in 2001. And in the 25 years since then, I haven't heard anything to disprove it. Every time you hear a 2/4 backbeat, that always comes after the influence of American music. You didn't start seeing England music. It wasn't until skiffle arrived in the 1950s that you saw England, the UK, with a 2/4 backbeat. And skiffle was directly American influence. In Jamaica, it wasn't until ska and rocksteady that the 2/4 backbeat arrived. That's because they were directly influenced by Chuck Berry and Fats Domino. In Japan, you don't see the 2/4 backbeat until the 70s. K-pop, J-pop, because they're influenced by American music. Africa, South Africa, you don't start the first 2/4 backbeat you hear out of South Africa is Hugh Masekela. Look him up. They talk a lot about Fela, but Hugh Masekela was much bigger than Fela. As a matter of fact, Earth, Wind and Fire lost their saxophonist, Ronnie Laws, to Hugh Masekela, Grazing in the Grass. You don't hear that until Hugh Masekela, then Fela. It's like we can name the people who brought these American rhythms to their culture, to their countries. We're not just pulling this out of our ass. You can name the people. Salsa music. When you listen to music out of what they call Afro-Cuban, the music out of Cuba, Latin jazz, you hear after bebop comes in, they change the rhythm of their horns. No more long extended notes. Bum, 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 bum. When bebop comes, Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie, now all of a sudden they're but you don't hear that until after the 1950s, because bebop came in the 40s out of Kansas City. Then when it hit New York in the 50s, now the Cubans are learning this shit from the Negroes and taking it back to Cuba. It's so easy to trace, and all you got to do is listen to the music and ask yourself, What year did this come out? Okay, what year did that come out? And in today's world, y'all got something I didn't have when I was studying music. Y'all got Spotify. You got YouTube. So you can pull up anything. When I was in college, Apple Music didn't exist yet. Spotify didn't exist yet. Napster existed, but you had to know the name of the song. You couldn't go into a search engine and be like, give me songs from Cuba in the 1930s. You couldn't, like I do. That's how I do searches now. I'll be like, okay, give me some artists in such and such region, the sounds of such and such region in this time. You can do that now. You couldn't do that when I was in college. I had to go to libraries and pull up music. I had to go to the library. I used to have to go to the library to pull up music from other parts of the world. And I did. Because I wanted to know. I wanted to know. And G-Pit, yeah, I see what you mean, yeah. Remember this. Just pay attention. Pay attention. When our music is played, just pay attention to like white folks or people that aren't from our culture. Pay attention to how they clap. Just watch. We clap. You'll see one of our songs come in, they'll come in. They clap. Pay attention. Whether they be Nigerian, Ethiopian, French, from the Netherlands, from Argentinian, Trinidadian, their initial reaction is to clap like this. That's because the music of their culture is on this beat. We don't understand, we as Americans, we're fucking different. We're the exception. We're the only ones who wait. We're the only people on the planet that do that. We didn't force other people to change their time. They changed their time because they wanted to. Because they felt the way Americans count music is a better way to count music than the way we count music. We didn't force that upon them with a gun. We just played our music. And they figured out whether it be Bad Bunny or Boy George. They figured they're going to change the way they do their music because of what they heard us do. And we did that without a gun. That's why we can't take Nicki Minaj's disrespect to George Clinton. Think about it, y'all. People got their own native instruments. We didn't tell them to put their shit down and pick up a drum set. We didn't tell Jamaicans to sit the Mento box down and pick up a bass guitar. We didn't tell nobody to do shit. All we did was play our music. And when people heard our music, they sat the native instruments of their cultures down and picked ours up. Whether they be European or African or Caribbean or American, South American. That was their decision. If you see a bass guitar in a band, that's because that band decided that country decided that bass guitar is a better way of holding down the bass than what my country's method of holding down the bass is. When you see a drum set, that's not African, that's American. That's because somebody decided this is a better way of keeping time than the maracas and the cowbells that my culture uses. When you see an electric guitar, that's somebody saying, this is a better way to bring flavor and color to my sound than the native guitars in my, because every culture got its own version of a guitar, whether it be a sitar in India or a guitarrón in Mexico. When they decide to pick up a Fender Rhodes keyboard, that's because they decide this is a better way of bringing in melody than the instruments of my culture. These are decisions that people make just listening to our music. We don't force this on anybody. We don't force this on anybody. All right? You ain't gonna take no Nicki Minaj disrespect. That old Cam Newton looking bitch. We ain't gonna take no disrespect from that. We're not gonna take no disrespect. And LA niggas ain't gonna take no disrespect from somebody that look like a turd from a 64-ounce beef steak. You ever eat a big ass prime rib, the big ass prime ribs you can get at the buffet, and you drop that deuce? That's Isaac Hayes the third looking ass nigga. That deuce after a goddamn night of prime rib and broccoli and potatoes. Do. That's how that nigga look. Talking shit about LA. I gotta walk Rocky. We'll be back tomorrow, alright? Or later on today. I'll holler at y'all.